Now, don't try to recruit others now. If you try to recruit people into a disorientation, then we go for you. We punish you. That's number one. But secondly, if you violently grab some children and you rape them and so on, we kill you. And that one I totally support, and I will support. The three positions. Number one, merely being suspected of being is not an offense in itself. You are a person to be helped if you want helped, because it was said that some of the people can be helped to get back to normal. But secondly, if you want now to disorient others, we go for you, we punish you by imprisonment. If you go beyond that and you start raping children and so on, we kill you.
His Excellency, the President of Uganda, has come out to respond to the IMF or World Bank on the statement they made that they have suspended funding to Uganda due to the anti-homosexuality bill law that was passed recently in Uganda. According to the statement from the World Bank Group, it says the World Bank Group today released the following statement on Uganda. Uganda Anti-Homosexuality Act fundamentally contradicts the World Bank's group values. We believe our vision to eradicate poverty on a livable planet can only succeed if it includes everyone irrespective of race, gender, sexuality. The law undermines those efforts. Inclusion and non-discrimination sit at the heart of our work around the world. Immediately after the law was enacted, the World Bank deployed a team to Uganda to review our portfolio in the context of the new legislation. The review determined additional measures are necessary to ensure projects are implemented in alignment with our environment and social standards. Our goal is to protect sexual and gender minorities from discrimination and exclusion in the project we finance. These measures are currently under the discussion with the authorities. No new public financing to Uganda will be presented to our Board of Executive Directors until the efficacy of the additional measure has been tested. Third-party monitoring and grievance redress mechanism will significantly increase, allowing us to take corrective action as necessary. The World Bank Group has a long-standing and productive relationship with Uganda, and we remain committed to helping all Ugandans without exception escape poverty, access vital services, and improve their livelihood. That is the statement from the World Bank, according to this law that was enacted recently. Museveni has come out to respond. He says in his statement he posted on his social media handles, Museveni said, Ugandans, especially the Bazukuru, greetings. Things are moving on well in Uganda in spite of the corruption of some public servants and some elements of the political class. Last night, an official from the World Bank rang me to alert me about the statement from that bank regarding the suspension of any requests from Uganda for loan. I want to inform everybody, starting with Ugandans, that Uganda will develop with or without loans. It is therefore unfortunate that the World Bank and other actors dare to want to coerce us into abandoning our faith, culture, principles, and sovereignty using money. They really underestimate all Africans. We do not need pressure from anybody to know how to solve problems in our society. They are our problems. We are continuing to talk with the World Bank so that both Both they and we avoid this diversion if possible. Signed, Yoweri K. Museveni, retired General Sabalwanyi. So that is the statement from His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni responding to World Bank. Recently, banki enkulu ya Uganda yavaayo netegeeza nga wegenda okustopinga obuyambi bwonna obadde buva mu banki eno, era ekiwandiiko kino nga kyembasomedde bwekyavaayo nekitegeeza olw'okuba nti no Uganda yavaayo neeyisa etteeka erikugira obuli bw'ebisiyaga mu Uganda. Jjukira banki eno ng'ekitebe kyayo ekikulu kiri mu Washington yavuddeyo neewandiika, ate era nga twalabako ne White House ng'ewandiikira Uganda ng'ekigambo okwabandoninga etteeka lino kubanga libeera lityoboola eddembe ly'obuntu saako n'okuteteganya enkolagana ne international community.
Grave concerns with the passage of the Anti-Homosexuality Act, AHA, by the Parliament of Uganda yesterday, and increasing violence targeting LGBTQI+ persons. If the AHA is signed into law and enacted, it would impinge upon universal human rights, jeopardize progress in the fight against HIV/AIDS, deter tourism, and invest in Uganda and damage Uganda's international reputation. The bill is one of the most extreme anti-LGBTQI+ laws in the world. Human rights are universal. No one should be attacked, imprisoned, or killed simply because of who they are or whom they love.
This is the Parliament passing it. It still has some process to go here. We're certainly watching this real closely, and we would have to take a look at whether or not there might be repercussions that we would have to take, perhaps in an economic way, should this law actually get passed and enacted. And that would be really unfortunate because so much of the economic assistance that we provide Uganda is health assistance, and largely through PEPFAR. You can see a world in which, a law like this, should it be enacted, would not.
Museveni yavaayo neetengerera n'agamba nedda tetugenda kuva ku values za Africa olw'okuba twagala obuyambi okuva ebweru, era twalabako ne Parliament yavaayo neeyisa etteeka lino okuba yaligira Museveni n'alisayiningako, era ababaka ne bagamba nti bo bagenda ku standing out with the truth kubanga almost 73% ababaka bonna baasalawo ne bagamba etteeka lino liyite erikugula obuli bw'ebisiyaga mu Uganda.
Africans here, we know a few people who are rumored to be homosexuals. Even in history, we had some few being rumored. But you cannot stand up here and say, I'm a homosexual. So whenever we talk to our partners from other parts of the world, we say, please, that's a private matter. You leave it. No, but they want to impose it on you. That I should stand up and say, oh yeah, homosexuals, oh yeah. We shall move. If they cut aid, we shall sit down and discipline our expenditure.
Waliwo new agenda nga wenna bagambako mu recent posts zange ku YouTube nabagambako nti no, there is a new agenda of seeing that Africa is targeted by the homosexuals, era nga okusinziira ne ku Pastor Sempa Martin yavuddeyo n'ategeeza ku mutimbagano gwe, era n'awa views n'awa ne agenda eno yatandika mu 2004 ng'eraga nti Africa is targeted, era ng'eraga nanga bwe bakiteesako kulaba nga Africa at large efuuka a pro homosexual continent. So okusinziira ku bubaka Martin Sempa bwe yatadde ku social media handles ze, yagambye European plan and fund on an LGBTQ conquest of Africa on February 7th, 2004 in Johannesburg. They spent 20 years funding the revolution with billions of dollars. The Africans resist this culture imposition with anti-sodomy laws, telling the rest, don't tell us how to live African lives. The Europeans tell the Africans, shut up, you are really pro-sodomy. It is the right wing of fundamentalists or colonialists who have made you and sodomy. The Europeans take the force higher morals ground and continue funding the 2004 LGBTQ revolution to dominate Africa and the world. They ban Uganda from World Bank financial services, saying we are discriminatory of the LGBTQ. The race and neo-colonial sexual anarchy supremacy can't see their error. Imagine the injustices of it all. I am documenting the biggest story in Africa-European relationship in the last 20 years. My book, Straight Nation Uprising, comes out next month. Watu Martin Semba ngono tumumanyi nnyo nti nno abadde ku forefront okulaba nga etteeka lino okulaba nga alwanyisa obuli bw'ebisiyaga era bamusibako yakolako ne bulungi bwansi era bamutwalako ne mu kkooti oluvannyuma lw'okuwayiriza pasita munne omu ng'agamba nti nno yenyigira mu kulya ebisiyaga. So zeze ensonga era bw'ati bwe yannyonnyodde.
Why is the World Bank weaponizing itself against Uganda for the values of Uganda's resistance against homosexuality? My name is Pastor Martin Sempa. I'm a scholar and a researcher on the subject of LGBTQ and the African resistance. In 2004, a conference in Johannesburg, South Africa, gathered all the leading homosexual ideologues and their funders. Amongst them was Hivos, the Dutch. Amongst them was UNAIDS. Amongst them was Hans Binswanger. He was a representative of the World Bank. And the homosexuals gathered and they planned on how to take over Africa, how to become a pro-LGBTQ Africa, change our religion, change our culture, change our laws, change our human rights. And they've been in gestation for 20 years on that campaign, opening branches, East Africa, West Africa, and Southern Africa. And so the African countries have come up with a resistance to it. And one of it is that we don't want homosexuality. We have made a law to make sure it cannot be promoted. And now, this morning, we just heard that the World Bank, Anjay Banga, the CEO of the World Bank, said that they are suspending funding to Uganda of any future financing. And that somehow our law, the parliament that has passed our law, is against the values of the World Bank. Well, let me just share with you. This is like coming, you yourself sat down. You sat down and planned how to take over Africa. You and your leaders, including Hans Binswanger, is an LGBTQ man. He came into World Bank covertly, and then after time, he began to weaponize himself, gathering other homosexuals, claiming that somehow the World Bank funding wasn't getting on the grassroots, which is not true. But the effort was weaponizing and hijacking the World Bank to use it as a bully, as a sledgehammer to break Africa's moral, religious, and culture to accept homosexuality. And that's wrong. So Anjay Banga, I want to tell you that Africa, we have not been involved in sitting down to come up with the corporate values of the World Bank. You cite 2016 environmental and social impact assessment. We were not there. You didn't have us sitting down. We're stakeholders. It's a bank, for God's sake. It's not you're not determining theological doctrine of what's right doctrine and what's wrong. You got no reason being here. Stop being weaponized. Anjay Banga, you're becoming the Budweiser of international financing. Stop pushing transgenders on us. Stop pushing LGBT female mutilation on us. We don't want it. How many ways can we say that? And listen, I just want to let you know, you're making a huge mistake. You're not giving us donations. We pay back that money. We, the taxpayers, we, the Ugandans, we, the Africans. Stop using and weaponizing financial services for homosexual LGBT cultural domination of Africa. We reject it. And lastly, you're making it more, BRICS becomes more important. This August, the end of August, BRICS in South Africa. More countries are applying to join the BRICS because BRICS is not imposing itself that for us to get financial services, loans and grants, that somehow we have to accept sodomy. We have to change our African culture. No. We don't have. So more and more likely, we're going to do business with China. We're going to do business with BRICS. That's the way it is. I just think it's terrible to have you, World Bank, becoming a white savior, pushing on us this agenda of homosexuality because you've been infiltrated by homosexuals who are changing your values, weaponizing you, and creating unnecessary conflict. I just say stop it. Stop with the white savior complex. Stop with racism. Stop it with pushing African that we will somehow become like Europeans on this issue of homosexuality. No, we're not. We're not. Our church, our faith, our religions, our culture absolutely resist and reject the imposition of sodomy on us.
Kati nno gye buvuddeko eyo Museveni naye azza nnyonnyola n'agamba Europeans imposing their cultures and behaviors on Africans and Uganda specific. Agamba tekikola kubanga Uganda first is a sovereign country yetengeredde era yesalirawo era yekolera amateeka gaayo. So if you come out nga ffe tetusobola kusalirawo America oba tetusobola kusalirawo Europe ate mmwe ne mujja mu Africa okubasalirawo olw'okubanga mukozesa ssente kijja kuba tekijjageerera. Museveni n'agamba now starting with this year bagenda kuba basala budget eyayisibwa state minister owa finance avuddeyo n'agenda mu parliament n'ategeeza parliament nga government weri mu nteekateeka y'okulaba nga esala budget era ne public servants abamu bagenda kusalibwako omusala okulaba nga basobola okwefandinga. Era Museveni agambye we are not going to stand with these people who think that we can't live without their funding. We are going to cut our expenditure so that we can facilitate ourselves. We will survive with or without their money. So what we yategeezezza era wenjogerera kati finance Ministry of Finance eri mu nteekateeka okulaba nga etandika okusala ku budgets zonna zibadde budget gye baayise ya 2023-2024 okulaba nga bagikatinga atisa okulaba nga basobola okweyimirizaawo. Basalirwa yagambye it is unfortunate that World Bank esazeewo okutwala step eno ey'okulaba nga esalako obuyambi bwebadde wa gavumenti sako ne loans gavumenti zebadde esabayo olw'okuba nti yayisa ekiteeka kino ekyobuli bw'ebisiyaga. Naye n'ategeeza nti nno n'abajuukiza nti Uganda is a sovereign country era nga yeesalirawo, era n'agamba kati kye balina okukola kwe kunoonya ba allies abalala. Tulabyeko Museveni gye buvuddeko eyo nga we yagenda e Russia okulaba nga yeetaba mu nteeseganya eza Russia Africa Summit eyaliyo, era tumulabye nnyo yeekubira nnyo ku ludda lwa Asia nga mulimu China, Korea n'ensi endala ne Buyindi, ate era tulabyeko ng'era yeekubira nnyo ne mu Bawalabu. Kitegeeza nti nno in case bano bamwabulira alina chance y'Abawalabu okumuwanirira oba okumusuulayo omukono saako ne Asian countries nga mwotadde ne Russia. Era abatunuzi b'ensonga zino ez'ebyenfuna n'ez'ebyobufuzi ne bagamba nti Museveni kati kyalina okukola kwe kulaba nga waba nga World Bank asobodde okugenda naye n'egaana, ekisingako obukulu kwe kunoonya minywanyi gye emipya okulaba nga ate basobola okukola ki, basobola omusuulayo omukono. So zezo ensonga eza World Bank okusinziira ku ndabyeko Robert Kyagulanyi ng'onono ye mukulembeze wa NUP oba ye president wa NUP avuddeyo n'ategeeza n'awandiika obubaka nga akola ki, n'awandiika obubaka ku mutimbagano ng'addamu ekibaluwa ekyo ekyawandiikidde World Bank ku suspendinga obuyambi bwebadde wa Uganda. Era mu bubaka bwe ategeezeza it is disturbing how institutions like these ones give priorities to honor gay rights and ignore all the other gross human rights violations, including mass murder, torture, detention without charge, and undermining democracy by rigging elections. So watu wabazeemu naye era abannayuganda bacha demandinga bobena okulaba nga awastandiye, does he support homosexuality or he doesn't. He hasn't given his stand okujjako tweet gye tulabye nga ali kuddamu World Bank oluvannyuma lw'okufulumya ekiwandiiko kino. Bino byebimu ku bigambo bya Museveni byayogera ku kikola kino oba ku tteeka lino ya homosexuality. Weyavaayo n'ategeeza nti we can facilitate ourselves with or without them, so we should not be intimidated, we should not fear, we are going to stand and we are going to develop. So bwe buno obubaka bwe yateekayo bwe yayogera ye buvuddeko eyo nga etteeka lino liri kubagibwa.
We shall move. If they cut aid, we shall sit down and discipline our expenditure, rearrange our budgets. If they interfere with our trade, we shall trade with others. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that one is not my and that's what I was telling you. The other time when I met you at Kololo, I said, you people, you should be ready for a war. And you cannot fight a war when you are a pleasure seeker, if you like a soft life. So a war is not for soft life.
Abantu abatunuzi b'ebyobufuzi bazze bakyogera lunwe nti engeri Uganda yasalawo okutwala ekkubo lino eryokulaba nga tewagira bilubwa bisiyaga, consequences nyingi nnyo ezaali zigenda okujja, naye ne bategeeza nti Uganda should be ready. Era kino tutandise kirabako waliwo ebitongole ebimu ebibadde ebyobwannakyewa ebyaggalawo mu Uganda olw'okuba nti no baayisa etteeka lino, era ng'abamu bagamba nti kino kyali kigenda kukosa nnyo naddala ssente eziva mu White House eza PEPFAR nga zigenda ziyambako ku balwadde ba mukenenya. Ne bagamba kino kigenda kukosa nnyo ebyobulamu saako n'ebyensoma ya Uganda. Naye Museveni n'atugamba we should not worry, we should stand firm and we should work for ourselves. Tulabye Africa is waking up, African countries are waking up era tulabye nnyo ensi nnyingi eziganye okukola kyokulaba nga bagendera mu nkwawa z'abana abavuzungu nga basibako ebiteekateeka nga basibako behaviors zaabwe olw'okuba babafandinga, era ensi ezisinga zize ziwakanya ekikolwa kino. So ne Uganda kyekyo kyeyatutte, naye nga what we need is to see that at least we can facilitate and Museveni kati alina okukwata officials be n'omukono ogw'amaanyi, kubanga tukirabye nti nno ssente nnyingi nnyo eziyisibwa mu budget zikola ki zibbibwa. So Museveni should wake up and see that corruption is reduced and is fought so that Uganda can move forward, because we've seen a lot of countries in Africa that have developed with little funding and they have made it. We see Rwanda. Rwanda is a small country and has been with a lot of conflicts. You remember in 1994 the genocide that happened there. But when you compare Rwanda and Uganda, Rwanda is far better than Uganda. What went wrong with Uganda? So we need to wake up. Our leaders and our president have to wake up so that we can start developing our country without relying on funding from outside. Because when you rely on outside countries, that means you become vulnerable, and this you become a target to whoever want to impose their will and their laws on you, so you become vulnerable. So for Uganda, we've seen we are so vulnerable and we need to wake up. This is the wake-up call. We need to wake up and start developing for our own without loans, because Uganda takes a lot of loans and it has a big debt that I don't know, almost 51 trillion is a debt. So we need to wake up and we need to cut countries' expenditure, countries' expenditure, so that we can facilitate ourselves. So this is it for today. Ndabyeko ne congratulations to Joseph Mayanja, naye graduate nze afunye Bachelors of Arts International Relations and Diplomacy Cavendish University. Congratulations. Era ndabyeko ne Makula naye afunye Bachelors in Mass Communication kuva Cavendish University. We congratulate you and wish you all the best and everyone that has graduated today. So this is it from today from me, Mr. Essential Worker. You subscribe, like, and share for you who want to partner with us. For you who want to partner with us, you can reach me on 078 31 31 207, or if you have an advert you want to advertise with us, feel free to contact me on 078 31 31 207, or you can send me a WhatsApp message. I can reply you instantly. So that is from me for today. I wish you God's blessings and mercy.